Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the regular city council meeting to order. It is Monday, March 25th at 6 o'clock. Do a roll call. Mike?
Here.
Maureen?
Here.
Adam?
Here.
Dar?
Here.
Lindsay?
Here.
And I haven't heard from John.
It's on his way.
Okay. John is on his way. Okay, would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you, everyone. Next item on the agenda is public comments. The council received public comments on any issue related to the agenda. Limited discussion by the council may take place.
Quiet today.
Hearing none. Next item is the consent agenda. Health and Safety Committee minutes from March 10th. City Council minutes from March 10th. Parks and Public Works Committee from March 17th. Special event, Freedom Park birthday party, May 18th from noon till 4. Another special event permit, Prescott Fire Department Spring Fling, April 26th from 11 a.m. to midnight.
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 5.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is reports of standing committees and commissions. Nothing for Finance, Planning Commission. Next meeting is Monday, April 7th at 6. Parks and Public Works, committee report. You want to take that, Matt? Or?
Sure. So the committee met last Monday, and let me just make sure I'm in the right spot here. So we discussed the Ryden Road Extension Study, which we'll be talking about tonight, so I'll wait for that. The other thing we discussed was the second irrigation meters. Now with our new tariff going into place on April 1st, we're going to start moving forward with issuing additional meters or second meters again. So we discussed two proposals from Early Plumbing and Joe Nance Plumbing, and we're working to get agreement with Nance Plumbing, as that one had an official proposal of putting in a shut-off valve, so we're looking at that. So we'll be working on that hopefully for next meeting for you. Sewer connection fee is on the agenda for tonight, as well as Knowles Nelson Grant, McGee Park pedestrian bridge. And then we discussed Freedom Park updated flooring estimates. We got an estimate to replace the Freedom Park conference room. Originally it was for vinyl tile, which was going to match the main area, which was kind of expensive, so we went out and got two more quotes, and we looked at those, and we went with the cheaper option of vinyl tile planks, which are glue down. So we're working on getting options from St. Croix Interiors for what would work there, and then work with Friends of Freedom Park of what option they want. Also, Friends of Freedom Park has requested that we look for, or they might go out and look for a separate quote for if we want to go back to carpeting what's in there now. So still more to come on that one. Otherwise, all those other items will be on the agenda for tonight for consideration. So.
The next meeting for Parks and Public Works will be Monday, April 21st at 5 o'clock. Health and Safety, next meeting is Monday, May 12th at 5. And Personnel, next regular meeting, Wednesday, May 7th at 5 o'clock. Next item on the agenda is communications and new business. Public comments. The council received public comments on any issue not related to the agenda. Limited discussion by the council may take place. However, no action will be taken on any items. It includes receiving written requests, documentation, or possible action at a future meeting. Hearing none. Next item on the agenda is Prescott Library 2024 Year in Review.
Hello.
Hi.
Just want to come in and share with you some of the highlights from 2024, our annual report, and then just some of the things we're looking forward to in 2025. So I kind of created just a little slideshow. I promise it's not long. So kind of a snapshot. Overall, we're seeing increases in different areas. For instance, our checkouts increased 7%. So that's not just books and digital items. It's our library of things, our video games, movies, and all of that as well. We also saw a slight increase in our program attendance, with a little over 4,000 people attending our programs last year. And then we also welcomed 276 new card members, little bit more than 2023. And just for fun, that picture was from our Bruce the Bug Guy show, and those young girls holding those large moths. Another increase we saw was our visitors. So you can kind of see a steady increase in our visits over the last few years. A 14% increase from 2023 to 24. Visits are to check things out, use the computers, copy, use the Wi-Fi, use the meeting room, and more. So, just some of our bigger programs we had, or our well-attended ones. We had our snake discovery. It's hard to see in that picture, but he's holding a big python. So all the kids were able to hold the snake at the end of the program, and some other ones too. So we had like around 100 people for that one, kind of spilling out of our tiny Mississippi room. Our craft hours are well attended. Seems as if they're the messier the better for families. And then our comedy duo we were nervous about the size, so Patax let us have it over there down the road. So we try and get out to the daycares and schools a lot, so we did a lot of story times, STEM story times. We went to the Malone Carnival and kind of played games with the kids there. And then we just recently did lunchtime visits at a few of the schools. Most of the contests you see, like Peeps and gingerbread and pumpkin carving, are all in partnership with Community Ed. And then we also work with Freedom Park. We do story time there, usually once a month, and then any of their special events like Earth Day or Winterfest. And then they also let us do our story walk there along their path. So looking forward to 2025, one of the big things, we received the teen internship grant. So we're able to hire a teen internship for the summer. They get to kind of get the whole library experience and then do a project for the community that will help them with. We're excited to just keep increasing outreach with the schools. We like to get in more with the classrooms and work more with the teachers. And then, of course, our summer reading program and kickoff are going to come up soon here. And then we're excited to continue with our Homeschoolers Hub, which is for homeschooling families to come and connect with each other and share resources. We do story time, crafts, activities, and then we have a guest scientist come and talk with them. So that was that picture there from last week. We had an archaeology professor from University of Michigan talk with the kids, and they got to ask her questions and things. So, yeah, those are some of the things we're looking forward to.
That's great.
That's all I got. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was
Looks
very nice.
wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is approval of plans to go to bid for the McGee Park pedestrian bridge. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So we approved moving forward with the McGee Park project at our last meeting with the lowest bidder of Total Excavating. So one of the things that still is needed is the pedestrian bridge on the west side of the park that spans an intermediate waterway that experiences some seasonal flooding due to the large, or maybe not large, but the drop-offs on both sides of that waterway. A pedestrian bridge is needed to keep the whole loop ADA compliant. So the pedestrian bridge is before you tonight for going to bid. We did reach out to some contractors just to get a very high-level estimate, and right now we're estimating the bridge is hopefully between $75,000 to $110,000 for a cost. So of course we won't know until we get the bids. And we did discuss some funding options that we could pull from for the bridge. The Parks and Public Works Committee reviewed this and suggested we move forward with the least flexible options in terms of usage, which are our park impacts fee and our ARPA funds before we consider other sources. So that's what we would be considering once bids come in if they are favorable. So with that, I'll turn it over to comments and questions. Tonight's recommendation is just simply to move forward with the plans and specs to go to bid for the McGee Park pedestrian bridge.
Motion to approve the plans and specs to go to bid for the McGee Park pedestrian bridge.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, well, a motion and a second to approve the plans, go to bid for the McGee Park pedestrian bridge. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I like the committee's recommendation that we go with the funds first that are least flexible. I thought that was a good point to make.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval of agreement with Cedar Corps to conduct the preliminary design of the Ryden Road Business Park extension. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So in 2021, the city of Prescott, we purchased 150 acres for the expansion of our business park. This past year, we started our tax increment district number 6 in order to assist in paying for public infrastructure costs related to utility extensions, road improvements, business subsidies, and other improvements in the business park. That map was within your packet. So moving forward, since we had a couple inquiries that are for our smaller sites, 5 to 6 acres, one of the things that we've run into is really the placement of a couple infrastructure items that need to be determined before we can really have a full conversation of the costs and what's related and what can go where. So as we try to determine those puzzle pieces, specifically the stormwater pond and the larger impact Ryden Road extension would make and where we'd put that pond and what size it would be. And then also we will require in that whole 150 acres, there be a sewer lift station. So where exactly that point is where we'd have to put in that lift station, those are two things that are unknown. So as we're having that conversation with potential interested parties, it would be something that would be good to know so we can have a full picture of the costs for that area. So we asked Cedar Corporation to put together a proposal for us. That is what's before you tonight. There is a number of things, preliminary stormwater pond modeling and layout for 2,200, an overall grading of the site area, and then the earth balance calculations for 10,700, and then utility layout and specifically that lift station layout for 1,900. So in total, the whole sum is $15,800. The table in your packet does have a breakdown of where each item would go to pay the cost. Most of it is being split between general fund, water fund, and sewer fund. And then, of course, the stormwater fund carrying that portion for the preliminary stormwater pond modeling. So with that, the Parks and Public Works Committee reviewed this proposal and recommended to council for approval. So I'll turn it over to council for comments or questions.
Motion to approve the agreement with Cedar Corps to conduct a preliminary design of Ryden Road Business Park extension for the amount of $15,800.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with Cedar Corps to conduct the preliminary design of Ryden Road Business Park extension. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, I'll do a roll call. Mike?
Aye.
Maureen?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you, Matt. Okay, the next item on the agenda is Resolution 22-25, amending and adopting the revised sewer connection fee structure to a meter-sized tier system. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So the council adopted our public needs assessment and impact fee study at our February 10th, 2025 meeting. As part of that approval, the council also approved an updated ordinance to certify and adopt our new impact fees for the first time since 2003. That was done now at, I believe, our last meeting on March 10th. So with those impact fees, we do have the highest fees in terms of the area, but one of the areas that has not been looked at and is 57% of those fees is the 4,750 fee for sewer impact, or sewer connection fees. I'm sorry, it's not an impact fee, but a sewer connection fee. Unlike larger communities, a lot of them, as they grow, have a sliding scale. So basically right now, a home being built pays the same sewer connection fee as, say, a large industrial business. So basically that's why a tiered system is adopted, so it's more equitable throughout and is specifically based on the size of your water meter. So the idea is the more water you use, the larger the water meter, the more sewer that your impact you're gonna have. So this tiered system is what is being adopted more often. It also does follow with what we're looking at for our police and fire, where we're basing it on a square footage, so it's more directed towards the actual impact it has on the community. So with the current sewer connection fee, it was established in 2000. Right now, we could not find anything going back that far other than the minutes when it was approved for what the rationale was it. However, we are working under the assumption that it was established for paying the proportionate costs of providing public facilities, specifically in relation to sewer. So looking at other area communities around us and what is currently out there in the tiered systems that do exist, in Table 1 you can see what we're proposing for the sewer connection fee. If a tier system was approved, it would result in the overall fees then in Table 2. So we'd go from what was paid before we approved that was $6,940 for a new home. With the new impact fees, then we went up to $8,715. And then if we approve this sewer connection fee, a new housing unit would pay $6,121 in development fees. Now, I do want to point out, obviously, the higher meter sizes would be paying more for that cost, or for those fees, but for a typical single-family or housing unit, which uses a 5/8 or 3/4 inch, would be paying that $6,121. So the Parks and Public Works Committee reviewed this proposed system and recommended to council at their March 17th meeting by a vote of 3-0. So I'll turn it over to council for comments and questions.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 22-25, amending and adopting a revised sewer connection fee structure to a meter-sized tier system.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 22-25. Excuse me. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 23-25 to adopt a revised fee schedule for the city of Prescott. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So with that approval of the sewer connection fee as well with our impact fee approval and then our new water utility tariff that is going to go into effect on April 1st, there are a number of changes that are required to be made or were made. So basically what's before you is the updated fee schedule that lists those new amounts, and then overall you could see in the highlight section it goes down. Some of them are more just user-friendly changes, like the fencing permit doesn't necessarily go down. We have it listed as $30 per 50 feet, whereas now we're just listing at a per foot cost of 60 cents per foot. So there are, the other changes are listed. If you would like, I can go through all of them. Otherwise, I'll turn it over to council for comments and questions.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 23-25 to adopt a revised fee schedule for the city of Prescott.
Second it.
Excuse me. We have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 23-25. Are there any discussion on the motion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Ordinance 02-25, an ordinance to repeal and replace City Ordinance Chapter 635 zoning, Section 635-57, off-street parking in residential areas. Matt or Dar?
This was the planning commission that did this.
Oh, Rob?
Yeah,
You tried that last time, I didn't say anything, so.
we can review it again, but.
Sure.
So we went through the first reading last time. We haven't had any comments since our first reading, so before you tonight, we are recommending approval of ordinance 02-25. I guess the biggest changes was result of RV habitation. We are including a section that's basically restricts RV habitation. We are limiting the quantity of amount of, I guess, recreational vehicles that can be housed on the side and rear yard to 3. And then before, we had in the ordinance that driveway storage could only have 3 vehicles within your driveway. So now it's basically unlimited as long as it fits on the driveway and is not blocking the right of way.
Motion to approve ordinance 02-25, an ordinance to repeal and replace city ordinance chapter 635 zoning, section 635-57, off-street parking in residential areas.
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve ordinance 02-25. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 24-25 to obtain a cost-share grant from the Department of Natural Resources, State of Wisconsin.
Thank you, Mayor. So in our capital improvement plan right now, we have upgrades upgrades, I guess you could call them, to St. Croix Bluffs, what is now known as Fairy Wonderland Park, for a parking lot, restrooms, a youth sports field, and then the additional work that Fairy Wonderland is doing to add playground equipment. So as part of that, we're looking for grant opportunities that could assist with those funds. So the Department of Natural Resources has the No Nelson grant, which we have successfully applied for the second phase of the Riverfront and McGee Park. So we'd be looking to do the same for this project. So as part of that, we would need a resolution of cost share grant from this program, which is before you tonight. It doesn't allocate the funds, but it basically does say to the DNR that if we move forward, we will proceed with the cost share that we're obligated to do. So right now, it is planned within our CIP, so we have the funds to do it. Ideally, the grant sharing would make it so we could free up funds to do other things like other bill and overlay projects or projects in other parks elsewhere. So that's the idea behind it. So with that, I'll turn it over to council for comments and questions.
Is Cedar Corps going to apply for the grant, or are we doing that?
So yes, I don't know, I think everybody's, well, maybe not. Our city planner is taking another position with the city of Apple Valley, so we are working with Cedar Corporation to have them apply by May 1st. So that's one of the things that's needed is this solution.
Okay, thank you.
When is Carter's last date?
This Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Good. Well, good luck to him. Motion to approve Resolution 24-25 to obtain a cost-share grant from the Wisconsin DNR.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 24-25. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Other business, we have an organizational meeting Tuesday, April 15th at 5:30. What day is our vote?
April 1st.
April 1st,
April 1st?
yes.
So April 1st,
I should let her
everybody
say,
come
'cause
out
she's
and
doing all the
vote.
work.
Don't forget to do that.
There's one I just was wondering, so our Parks and Public Works, I should have brought up in that section, is scheduled for Monday, April 21st, but that is, never mind, that's not right before the date, but do we want to push that back, so, because then we'll have new committee, I don't know if we have any topics, so it would, I guess, I'm asking a committee that's going to be basically different, but do we have any concerns with canceling the one in April and just have the one in May? Okay.
So we had anybody come forward for Ward 1?
I actually have 2 official write-ins for Ward 1 right now, as of today.
Awesome.
So,
So
Yep.
are their names going to be available at the?
Yes, they
When
are.
you come to vote?
yep.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. Thank you for those who have stepped up. We appreciate that. Is there any other business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion, a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
That was quick.